Hey everyone, James Baek here, and it's time for some more Doubles Battle Spot from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Today's team, I'll be using a Trick Room team of Gothitelle, Manectric, Jellicent, Scizor, Camerupt, and Scrafty. So my main purpose with this team is to get Trick Room up, as well as gain some heavy damage with Water Spout and Eruption, while Gothitelle just heals the rest of my Pokemon. So hopefully this strategy will work, and let's see what will be our opponent. We're going to find someone named Green, 1601 rating from Brazil. Let's see his team. It is going to be Hydreigon, Landorus, Gallade, Tyranitar, Heatran, and Ludicolo. So, notes here. Gallade is obviously Mega, unless it's a Trick Room support Gallade, which I highly doubt. It also could be a Mega Tyranitar. Other than that, his team looks pretty good, but he really has no answer to Trick Room unless that's a Fling Tyranitar with Iron Ball. So I think I'm going to lead Gothitelle and Scrafty, because the only leads that could really endanger that would be Hydreigon and Ludicolo, which I'm probably going to anticipate. I'm going to bring Mega Camerupt because Mega Camerupt does so well, and I'm actually going to bring the Scizor instead of the Jellicent, even though Jellicent looks like it's a really good option here. I think Scizor can do well, and I need some effective way to knock out the Ludicolo. So let's see how this is going to play out. So I'm probably expecting Hydreigon and Ludicolo to lead, but we'll see what he leads with. We're going to see Hydreigon and Gallade, which is an interesting choice. That Hydreigon is shiny versus my Gothitelle and Scrafty. And I'm kind of interested to see if this Gallade carries Taunt or not, which could actually be a big problem if it does, because I think Gallade does get Taunt. If it does, I might be in trouble here, but I'm going to fake out the Hydreigon and try to set the Trick Room. Hopefully he doesn't have Taunt. His Gallade is not going to Mega Evolve, which is interesting. Steadfast. Gallade's going to go for Swords Dance. Swords Dance Gallade, what? As Gothitelle does get that Trick Room up. So, Swords Dance Gallade, that just boggled my mind right there. But I am going to protect my Gothitelle, and I'm going to knock off his Gallade. This could be a terrible idea if it is justified, and if it's justified, I could be in some big trouble. But no, he's going to Mega Evolve, going to become Mega Gallade. It's going to get those stat buffs, and it's going to get the Inner Focus ability, so I don't have to worry about justified. As Scrafty goes for knockoff, it's going to do a good amount of damage. Hydreigon's going to go for the Draco Meteor onto the Scrafty slot. I am Assault Vest, so I should tank that. As Scrafty does live, and his Gallade goes for knockoff onto Gothitelle. Okay. So right now, I'm going to Heal Pulse my Scrafty and Drain Punch the Hydreigon. Actually, his Hydreigon's not really a threat at all to me right now, so I think I'm going to knock off the Gallade again. Scrafty is going to go for the knockoff onto the Gallade. It's going to do some decent damage. Gothitelle is going to go for the Heal Pulse, which is going to heal my Scrafty, so I should live any attack coming from the Hydreigon. His Hydreigon is going to go for Draco Meteor again onto the Gothitelle slot this time. I'm going to try to get some chip damage so his Gallade is able to knock out my Gothitelle. As Gallade goes for Low Kick onto my Scrafty, which is going to take it out. Critical hit even. I don't think the critical hit really mattered. So now I'm going to send out my Camerupt, because I underspeed in Trick Room, and it should be doing a lot of damage now. I am going to switch out my Gothitelle into Scizor, because I do want it for later, and I'm going to Eruption for the full power. Get as much damage as I can onto the Hydreigon, and it should knock out the Gallade. I obviously want Gothitelle for later in case I do have to set up a late game Trick Room. So I'm going to withdraw into Scizor. Camerupt is going to Mega Evolve. It's going to decrease its speeds, but increase everything else. Get that Sheer Force ability, which probably doesn't matter at this point since I went for Eruption. As Camerupt goes for the Eruption, and it's going to knock out the Glade and do pretty good damage to Hydreigon. It did almost half. As Hydreigon's going to go for Draco Meteor again onto the Camerupt slot, which is going to decrease the power of Eruption, but I'm okay with that. As Draco Meteor does about 30%, but now that Hydreigon is at -6, he's most likely going to switch out now since he does have that option. We're going to see the Landorus come out. So now, it's kind of obvious that Hydreigon's going to switch out. I'm guessing it was locked into... I'm going to assume it was choice locked into Draco Meteor, probably Specs. So it's probably going to switch out now. I'm going to try to set up Swords Dance with Scizor. And I'm going to Heat Wave both these Pokemon. This Hydreigon is going to switch out, go into his last Pokemon, which is the Ludicolo. As Camerupt is going to go for Heat Wave, Landorus avoids the attack, and that was the Pokemon I was targeting, and that is really bad. Heat Wave does a lot to the Ludicolo though. Scizor is going to get the Swords Dance up. As Landorus goes for the Earthquake, which is going to hit everyone on the field. It's going to knock out my Camerupt. But really, that Heat Wave miss really mattered, because it would have probably been in Bullet Punch range, and now the Trick Room's over. So, even more bad news. I'm going to send out my Gothitelle, and I am going to protect my Scizor, because I really have no choice, and I'm going to protect my Gothitelle as well, because he's probably going to go for Fake Out with the Ludicolo. Scizor is going to protect, Gothitelle is also going to protect, scouting for any Fake Out possibilities. As Ludicolo does go for the Fake Out onto the Gothitelle slot, Landorus is going to go for the Earthquake. And now, actually, things might not be so bad here. I do have one option left. He's now forced to send out Hydreigon, which I'm kind of doubting has Protect, because I think it was choice locked. So now, I'm thinking I can Bullet Punch the Hydreigon and set up that Trick Room. Doesn't look like he has any big way to damage Gothitelle with Landorus unless he has U-Turn. I'm going to set up the Trick Room and Bullet Punch the Hydreigon. Bullet Punch should knock out the Hydreigon, which it does. So now I just have to worry about a high damage roll from that Landorus with Earthquake. Landorus is going to go for the Earthquake. It's not going to knock out my Pokemon, and Trick Room is going to go up. So now I do have control of this game. I'm going to protect my Scizor, and I'm going to rest with my Gothitelle so I can guarantee to heal some hit points. Scizor is going to protect. My Gothitelle is going to rest because I do need Gothitelle around so I can heal post my own Scizor and knock out this Landorus. As Gothitelle is going to recover and eat its Chesto Berry, Landorus is going to go for Earthquake. I'm probably expecting a choice item on that Landorus. And now, I'm going to Bullet Punch the Landorus slot and heal pulse my Scizor. It also helped that Gothitelle stayed alive because it meant Earthquakes now spread damage. Bullet Punch is going to connect with the Landorus, does about half. Heal Pulse is going to happen onto my Scizor, which is going to recover 50% of my HP back. Landorus is going to go for another Earthquake. And Scizor and Gothitelle both live their Earthquake, so I'm going to Bullet Punch again the Landorus and Heal Pulse again onto my Scizor. Bullet Punch is going to connect with the Landorus, and it does knock it out, and I will be taking this game. So even after that Heat Wave miss, which was a huge deal for me, I was still able to come back thanks to Gothitelle, and it was thanks to him knocking out his Ludicolo I had a chance. I assumed he was going to go for the Fake Out and Earthquake that turn, which meant his Ludicolo was either going to be knocked out, or it was going to be in little range, so either way I would have been able to Bullet Punch it the next turn, knock it out, and set up the Trick Room with the Gothitelle. The only problem is the Hydreigon, and if that happened, I might have been in a bit of trouble still, but I think I would have been able to come back as long as I played smart. So I hope you guys like this live commentary battle. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, follow me on Twitch because I do stream Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and some other games. Be sure to follow me on Twitter to know about channel updates, new videos, when I'm streaming, news, etc. I'll see you guys next time.